Uh, Shivani, you starting?
Yes, and we are live. So, hey, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining another Lead Squared webinar. I am Shivani Roy and I oversee marketing at Lead Squared. So, with me, I have three spectacular guests with us, one of them being our moderator, but two others who are stalwarts from the auto industry. So, we are breaking down 2023's auto sales success in India. A lot to talk about, and I couldn't have asked for a better panel here. We will, of course, talk about the strategies on how to replicate the same for continued growth. So, before I hand it over to Dinshaw, let me just talk about our speakers, a line or two about them. So, we have Rakesh, who is the head of sales, domestic and exports at Lumax for the aftermarket. Thank you so much, Rakesh, for joining us.
Thank
Uh,
you, pleasure.
we also have Bhimsha, who is the regional head of sales at Mahindra Group, overseeing the automotive sector. So thank you so much again, Bhimsha, for joining us. And our very own Dinshaw, who is from Lead Squared. He is the Associate Director of Business Development at Lead Squared. I can tell you that collectively, the three of them represent over 60 years of experience. So clearly, there's so much to learn from the team here today. With that, Dinshaw, over to you. Please take it ahead from here.
Thanks a lot, Shivani. Thank you very much. And good evening, Mr. Rakesh, Mr. Bhimsha, and dear folks. Once again, welcome to this edition of the Lead Square webinar. Looking forward to an engaging conversation today. So, as we start and talk about the automotive industry, it's a very close to heart industry for me, primarily because out of my experience of 19 odd years, I've spent around 9 years with automotive industry organizations like Tata Motors and Mahindra's. So it is a very close topic to my heart as well. So as we see, the automotive industry is growing immensely over this last financial year, and India enjoys a strong position in the global vehicle market as being the leader in the tractor production, the second largest bus manufacturer, and third largest heavy truck manufacturer in the world. If you see India's annual production of automobiles in FY22, it was approximately around 23 million vehicles. India has a strong market in terms of domestic demand and exports. If you see the passenger vehicle sales in India, which grew by 26.7% in fiscal year 2022-23, as per the latest data by the Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, domestic wholesales of passenger vehicles were approximately 3.8 million units versus compared to 3 million in the previous year. The sector shares the national GDP increase of 2.7% in 1992 to around 7.1% at present. If you see, they employ more than almost 20 million people directly or indirectly into different employment in the industry per se. This entire trend of growth that we see today is primarily because of the rise in the income levels of different categories, especially the middle class. If I actually go to talk about how the dynamics of the automotive industry are changing, we're talking of growth due to EV segment, growth due to buying power increase of different segments and strata of the society, and India's focus on improving the shared mobility and bringing in EV to at least 30% plus by 2030. So there is a big focus shift from a vehicle being a luxury item to a necessity today in India. And that's a primary reason why the automotive industry has grown. The kind of design, the kind of development and evolution of the Indian automobile segment in terms of the vehicles that we see today is tremendous. We are at par, and at times I wouldn't mind or hesitate to say this, that we are better than global players in the market as far as our automobiles are concerned today. With the whole focus of the government towards biofuels and alternate fuels in the domain of automotive,
Right.
there's a big push to growing this industry even further. Keeping that as a pretext, I will start the discussion with my first question here. And this I would talk about is, if we see the trends today of development that we see, this question would be to both the forums, starting with with you, Mr. Rakesh. What were the key trends and developments that you see shaped the auto industry in 2023? And which segment of the auto industry performed particularly well or struggled, per se, if I talk about in 2023?
Okay.
Over to you, Rakesh.
Um, Thank you. First of all, thank you very much. for inviting me to this forum. Uh, I would start by saying, welcome to the age of radical change in the automotive industry. You'll be astonished to see, the kind of change, the kind of speed of change which is happening in the automotive industry, which has happened in the last few years, and it is poised to grow for the next coming years to come. So it is going. Auto industry is seeing, you're seeing a remarkable change, a transformation, I can say, and which is undergoing a massive change. The speed of change is very, very important. If you retrospectively see, we took 7 decades to reach a 3 trillion economy. But in the next 7 years, we are poised to go to 5 trillion economy. So 70 years and 7 years, the kind of change we are seeing at our lifetime. It took us 7 decades to reach 4 million cars, and now we are talking about 7 million cars into 2030. So most of the OEMs are running, struggling with the capacities right now. So it will take a lot of effort in terms of auto majors to, invest a lot of money to poise this change. One. So the key, if parameters, I would, in a short, will say, I call it easy, which has brought this change. E is electrification. Electrification is one of the revolutionary change which is happening and which is going to happen. Second is the autonomous, the ADAS system. EA. S is shared mobility. Shared mobility, which is changing the dynamics of the total auto industry as a whole. And then it is yearly updated. Every year there is a new change which is happening. And connected cars. So now these are the 4-5 changes which is directly affecting the auto sales, which has already affected the auto sales in 2023 and which is poised to happen over there. So these 5 changes, technological changes which are happening, is going towards the premiumization of the cars also. If we see, there is a shift towards SUV. Earlier, people were more into sedan and into compact cars. But the buying habit, the behavioral habits are also changing, which is affecting this whole auto industry, which has already affected in 2023 after COVID, and it is going to affect every year. And with more technological and innovation and growth taking place, I think we are poised to see more changes and transformation in the industry coming 7-8 years by 2030. As far as segment is concerned, I think PV has performed good, but two-wheeler sales have taken a beating. In terms of electrification, whereas EV penetration in PV is around 2% at present, poised to grow to another 3 to 4% next year. Whereas the EV and electric penetration in the two-wheeler segment will be around 8% by next year, 2024. So by electrification, EV are getting into more penetration into two-wheeler segment rather than into passenger car segment. Overall, normal vehicles have been affected. The sales have been affected last year. PV sales were very good. So I think with all those technologies, there are a lot of transformation which are going to happen. Yeah.
Sir, for your comments, Bhimsha sir.
Yeah, Rakesh ji, many points, many trends Rakesh ji expressed about how the industry is impacting, what are the trends are there in the current automobile industry, why it is growing. Okay, he mentioned about SUV sales, he mentioned about the technological advancement, he mentioned about electric vehicles, he mentioned about connecting vehicles also. So some of the points like digital sales, which is one more in addition to whatever the trends which actually Rakesh expressed. The digital sales is actually taking a very good shape, especially last 3 to 4 years post COVID. Like both the side to the back end side also to the forward integration also. Forward integration means like for example a customer want to buy a car. Okay, he is booking online today. Like for example, in any company today, any customer want to buy a vehicle, he need to book online. So and he is going through complete all the features. He is going through completely in a YouTube or something, video. Different kind of a platform he is using for the understanding of the vehicle. So digital sales is one trend which is aggressively penetrating in both the side. Second, even with the company side also, all the companies, they are actually managing the inventory of the dealer, managing the all the complete training and all. Everything will be through digital. That trend is actually very emerging currently. Second, which I found is like within SUV, the bigger SUV, the mid-size and bigger SUV, they are taking the shape. Their contribution is very high. More than 75%. The contribution is very high in within the SUV format. For example, XU700 in within our family, the Scorpio, and these kind of vehicles are taking the trend in the current automobile industry. That's why the industry is growing at a faster rate.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. And I think you are absolutely correct here. Digitization has brought in a lot of change in the evolution of the automotive industry. Electrification has brought in the larger piece of change and impact as well. The focus of the government towards that has brought in, and that kind of brings me to my next question, which I am talking about, and this is uh, starting with you, Bhimsha sir. Would be, as you see the electric vehicles are gaining momentum, and obviously there is a requirement of supplies, there's a requirement of raw material, there is a requirement of infrastructure around the EVs in the market today. And while the cities may be getting and geared up towards it, we still probably are struggling when it comes to the tier 2 and tier 3 cities as far as availability of parts and repair and maintenance is concerned, or infrastructure for charging stations is concerned, and stuff like that. So, keeping that in mind, as you see electric vehicles gaining momentum and focus from the government as well, how do you think automakers like Mahindra and other organizations, subsidiary or complementing to automotive OEMs, are adopting their strategies to embrace the shift and cope up with the demand that you're having today in the market?
Yeah. So, like electric vehicle is the talk of the town today. If you see the recent, ET Auto also, lot of talk on the electric vehicle penetration. Today, as Rakesh ji rightly said, the penetration is just 2%. Okay. So, in the 40-45 lakh industry, that 2% penetration is there. So many companies, more than 50% of the PBIT, whatever the profits companies are getting, R&D cost, everything they are investing on just development of electric vehicles. Okay, that is one of the talking town. If you see within electric, there are 4 to 5 segments are there within electric. One is battery electric vehicle. Second is plug-in with hybrid electric vehicles. Third one is hybrid electric vehicles. Then extended range of hybrid electric vehicles. These are the 4 to 5 segments are there which actually need for the hour. For example, if you see the Europe and the US market, okay, the especially the China market, okay, China already 30% penetration is there with electric vehicle penetration, but India is only 2%. Why? One is if you see the local infrastructure, like there are many roads today. We are world largest road connecting country in the world. Okay, after now we are number one, number two is US. Okay, but there is need of infrastructure of charging centers. Okay, there are no very less charging centers. Okay, so many government is coming up with schemes, and the many organizations are planning to enter into a setup of a charging centers. Like for example, I'm talking about say Bombay to Baroda Express Highway. Okay, there will be more than 1,000 electric charging centers will be there in next 3 to 4 years. Okay, which the Gadkari has the vision, and definitely it is going to come up. Like all the highways, not only electric charging unit will be there, it will be like a mall kind of a thing, food zone kind of a thing, and electric charging stations will be there. So many organizations are investing on one to establish the infrastructure, second to develop the vehicles. because electric vehicle has a lot of benefits. Okay, one benefit is the cost of ownership is high initially, but the cost of operation is very less. Okay, compared to the current vehicles like fuel, petrol and diesel vehicles. That actually the benefit is there. Second, the maintenance cost is very less. It is 30 to 40% of the current cost, whatever the cost is there. Third, the resale value is going to be very, very high, because after 4 to 5 years or 6 years, when the person want to sell, there is no damage in the parts or anything. Okay, so that advantage will be there. So it is going to be boom, and my feeling is next 7 to 8 years, the Indian domestic, the passenger vehicle industry will be around 1 crore 10 million, out of which 30 to 35% will be electric by 2030 or 2035. In between this, around 30 to 40% penetration will be there, and all the companies are gearing up for penetration in electric vehicle. So that is the talk of the town.
Right, you're right. I think the government has also taken up EV penetration of 35% by 2030.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
that is what they are targeting. So
absolutely.
as an automaker, if you're saying it will be reaching around 30, that's a good sign.
Absolutely.
But apart from that, when the government introduced the FAME 2,
Yeah,
which is a faster adoption of electric vehicles, so they have announced certain incentive schemes and slashing the GST to 5% on EVs. But
absolutely.
I think that apart from this 5% which was slashed as a GST, there are other taxes as well. So if the government and all the stakeholders can, push through, the cost of EV should come down. I feel, for a better penetration, it should come down. That is one. And that can only happen if the cost of the components also come down. So either the import duty on the components which are being used into this EV, there should be some incentive either in importing them or bringing the import duty down, which is currently at 15%. If you're importing any EV parts, it is currently at 15%. So if the government can slash down the GST or the import duty, I think it will, in the longer run, help the EV to penetrate more. One, they should give special benefit to the auto ancillary. As I being part of auto ancillary, you know, so I think if a special incentive is given to auto ancillary units to manufacture this at a low cost, or by subsidizing, or by any incentives like they use a PLI scheme for exports. So anything doing with the EV, if they incentivize, I think that is in the longer run can also help. Last but not the least, as a customer, all the stakeholders, whether it is government or it is the automakers, they should have a promotional campaign, which I think it is lacking, because customer has a lot of doubt in terms of fear, uncertainty, and the lot of doubts whether the battery is going to long or not, how much is the battery long life, what will happen after the if it cracks after 4 to 5 years. So all those kind of promotional activities are also required to promote this EV. Coming to the next level, as we are talking about 30 to 35% of penetration, which you are also agreeing, which is going to happen, but a sustainable effort from all the stakeholders should be there, including the government and the automakers.
So, in addition to Rakeshji, like why the government is promoting electric vehicles?
Yeah,
Because if you see currently, the pollution of India, which
exactly.
is, from the vehicles, is almost 16% from automobile industry.
Sure.
Okay, which is creating a problem. Okay, so because of that, the government has taken initiative, especially the Mr. Gadkari also many times he mentioned, कि they want to promote electric vehicles to reduce the emission.
Yes.
There will be zero, okay, environmental safety. Okay, and the company, if you see the till now, the companies used to be, the share price and all used to go up by profitability or turnover. Now ECG is one of the initiative which actually will be monitored of the company, how the company is taking environmental, okay, governance, okay, safety governance, how companies are taking the initiatives to reduce the environmental damage. So
Right.
that's why electric vehicle will be very much popular. So
Sure.
maybe hybrid or electric, pure electric.
No,
That
I
is
fully agree with the cost competitiveness is one thing. I fully agree. It is going to, it will be anti-pollutant,
Yeah.
but it has to be apart from these two things. Customer has to also be getting educated on to remove his fears and doubts. So while talking about the tier one cities are different, behavior is different, consumer behavior is different. When you talk about tier two or a tier three cities, there the fears are very different. So in case we do a consistent campaign, promotional campaign, it is going to help for a longer term, definitely.
As Rakesh ji rightly said, because I traveled almost all the states of the country. I
Sure.
went to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. Okay.
Yes,
Their two-wheeler electric is penetrating. Okay.
exactly. Yes.
Because the travel time is very
Travel
less.
time. Yes.
But passenger vehicle, there is very less trust. As of now, people are not trusting. Okay.
Right.
They
Right.
have feeling that ki if something happened, कि where I will be struck. मतलब
हाँ जी.
उनको ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं कहीं मतलब फंस जाऊंगा. Like
Right.
that. That kind of a feeling is there with the people in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Urban, as rightly said, Rakesh ji, true. Definitely, the people convincing to the people is easy, much easier than tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 city. So that actually government need to invest because many skill center have started. If you go to the district level and the tier 3, tier 4 city level, there
Okay.
are government is starting a skill centers. Okay, so there they are starting, they are touching the point on electric vehicle, environment safety, these things actually.
Mm.
That also will help, and all the institutes, education institutes also,
Education.
they
Okay.
are also promoting EV actually.
Okay.
Absolutely, sir. I think what the points that you made were absolutely right. Where focus on EV, need to improve the environmental condition, and that's one big area. If you see today, out of the top 10 cities of the most polluted cities in the world, India has listed four of their cities. Delhi being on number two,
No. Right.
Mumbai being there, Bangalore being there, cities like Ghaziabad being there, cities like Muzaffarpur being there, cities like Kolkata being there. You can understand the amount, and this has changed over the last decade, where only one of our city, which primarily was Delhi, which used to land in the top 10. Today we have got 4 to 5 cities in the top 10 list of most polluted and the worst AQI, air quality index, ranging to anywhere between 180 to 500 AQI. That's the kind of pollution level that we have enhanced. And yes, 16% is a big number, which can be improved in terms of quality of living as well. So, keeping that in mind, I think another big aspect which also caters along with the EV, not just for EV, but also for the remaining automotive industry, is the introduction and advancement in the autonomous driving technology in cars today. Now, Mahindra was the kind of, I wouldn't say the pioneer, but yeah, the first in class for the ADAS system today. And now we see ADAS as like a mandate, an unsaid mandate across SUVs. Tata has come through, MG has it, the other cars are coming through with it. So now this autonomous technology is evolving the vehicle segment as well. Now that also has got a cost impact. That also has got an impact in terms. I have a friend of mine who has the Mahindra XUV 700, AX7L, which is the luxury segment, which has got the ADAS as well. Now he's taken the car. He wanted the ADAS. He's taken it, but he's never switched it on. Now what happens is you have an ADAS, but you don't use it. Why? Because you're not sure whether that ADAS is as impactful as it is said to be. Now here comes the part of awareness and education of the customer. How are we evolving our sales pitches, our conversations, our kind of communication across the market about this technology and inclusion of this technology in our vehicles today? That is something that we want to hear from both of you, sir.
Yeah. So if you see the autonomous technology, okay, it has different formats in the automobile industry. One of the 3 to 4 formats are there. Like one is functional specific autonomous. Okay. Second is combined functional automatic. Third is limited self-driving automation. Fourth is full self-driving automation. So these are the 3 4 different autonomous technologies going to come in automobile and which is already started. Like for example, you mentioned about Mahindra. Okay, See, today XU700, why it is so successful? Because the vehicle is exactly like a BMW, okay, but at the 30% cost of the BMW, okay. If you want to own a BMW, it will cost 1 CR, and we are giving a 28 lakh top end model, okay. See, that vehicle has ADAS, okay, and limited autonomous features, okay. Like for example, a beauty of the vehicle is, for example, if I leave a office, okay, that vehicle knows after so much of experience, like 1 month 2 month, that vehicle will show you ki will reach your home in 26 minutes, okay. So when you sit in the vehicle, keep the mobile, it will start automatic songs, okay. It knows ki what are the taste of my songs, okay. It will start automatically, no need to plug in.
Here comes the smart technology in play.
Smart technology, yeah.
Absolutely.
So these are the some of the the step by step it is coming, okay. Now partial braking system is there, okay, that is also automatic, it is programmed, okay. So complete music system, I told, complete it. Today the autonomous tractor automobile vehicles are based on, it's a software, first is software and computer, then vehicle we are designing. First we are designing the software. It is not only vehicle now, okay. It is IT company first. First,
Absolutely.
like Tesla is IT company first, then it is
Absolutely.
designing the car,
It's a
okay.
data management company more than
Data
vehicle.
management company, it is data
Absolutely.
management software company, then hardware we are designing, then vehicle it is coming, okay.
Absolutely.
So now in US and all and Europe, it is going to be by 2035, around 50% or 60% autonomous vehicle will be there. India also, it will be exactly the same. The challenges in India is, the problem is the road connectivity, okay. Now, if you see in India, compare with US, Europe, and India, Indian roads are really good, like compared to US. But the problem is safety. Like kabhi bhi, like buffaloes will come, cow will come in
Absolutely.
between. People, car, bike will come immediately. So because of that, so autonomous is becoming a challenge. 100% autonomous I'm talking about. Partial is definitely already entered, and it is going to increase. So my submission is, autonomous definitely it is taking shape. Customer want affordable cost, a high technology, high software, and around 30 to 40% autonomous is okay for him actually as of now. And he has a fear factor. If the vehicle is 100%, like Google Map driven vehicles in US, okay, already from 2015, already it is in trial, okay. So vehicles are going and accidents are less, not so high, around 2 to 3% accidents are there. So that technology in India may be very difficult another 10 years, maybe after 10 to 15 years, definitely it may come to some roads, like for example, Mumbai to Delhi, Delhi to Bangalore, that kind of road come, but people will not have no three cars, because we want to reduce the ownership also. Okay.
Absolutely.
Today, if you go to Singapore, if you want to buy a car, the you need to pay first 50 lakhs for only allocation. Then after 50 lakhs for the vehicle, means 1 crore you need to pay to buy a car. Okay, so there is a government regulations also are coming up.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to say as in today, but partial autonomous definitely it is going to emerge in India.
Absolutely, sir.
But the need of autonomous has come primarily due to making the driving safer. That was more convenient. As you
Absolutely, sir.
rightly said, more enjoyable. You
Yeah,
know, it's more enjoyable when you are driving a ADAS car
yeah,
because it reads your taste.
Absolutely,
As an industry, it will have a very knocking effect on the other industry as well.
sir.
One is the insurance industry.
Sir.
It is also going to evolve with the ADAS cars.
Absolutely.
If you are driving your car on yourself, the premium may be a higher one. But if you are having a DAS car, it is going to happen, I suppose. It is already there in the mature, developed countries. If you have a DAS car, the premium is slightly lower or lower than what you are driving on your own.
Correct.
So there is a lot of play which is going to happen. It is definitely going to, the value of the parts are going to be higher. So it is going to additionally add, I think I was reading somewhere, 300 to 400 billion dollars by 2030 or 2025. It is going to add to this revenue to the auto industry. And I think the knocking off effect on the other industry will definitely will come into play. The key differentiator will be the, as you rightly said, Mr. Bhimsha, the software.
Yeah.
Whether you upgrade from a software company to becoming a car maker, or being a car maker, you have to get into the software, because software is the one which is going to make a big play over here in the ADAS system. And then the data management. How do we use the data getting from the ADAS for preventive maintenance, and everything is going to be definitely impacting the auto industry.
Like as Rakesh ji rightly said, like the company like we have Tech Mahindra, our own software company, okay, we
Yeah,
have automobile company, and we have data warehouse, our own data warehouse system,
right.
which will definitely impact in a positive way. How? Because the autonomous vehicle need data backup also. Okay,
Yes,
whenever it is going, okay, it should grab that there is a traffic. Okay,
right.
then it should take the left road. Okay, so many things are there in the
Yes.
vehicle, autonomous vehicle. So definitely the company like us is going to get a edge, competitive edge over other companies. I'm not saying other companies are low, like Maruti Suzuki, Hyundai, Kia, Tata Motors. They're also definitely better companies.
Right.
So definitely it is going to be a very very big move in coming year to come. And second is safety wise also. Okay, when you are driving in an autonomous car, so it will give indication some vehicle is just 20 meter away from you, it will automatically slow down. Okay, your speed will be automatically slow down, no need to slow, it will go down automatically. If
Yes.
something is coming left side, automatically it will take right side, and speed will be low. So these kind of intelligence also built in the car actually. So
Right.
that also will help to the end users.
Absolutely, sir. So we spoke about how the evolution of policies are impacting the industry, how digitization, connected cars, autonomous cars, smart vehicles, technology is impacting the car. Now let's talk a little bit about um, operational aspects which are also impacting the auto industry. Now we are talking about growing the auto industry. When we talk about that, primarily we talk about growing the new vehicle sales. There is also a part which we are seeing a trend, growing trend today, is changing of cars is very frequent today as compared to possibly a couple of decades back, because of the buying power improving. Today a person lands up selling his old car pretty early, plus regulations like in Delhi, where you cannot use cars beyond 10 years in terms of SUVs, certain CC and above. But these are also impact. Now, those SUVs move to the other markets, and because people prefer an SUV today, the second-hand car sales is increasing. And that is also going to impact the auto industry, uh, possibly in some way or the other. Now, how are auto majors and ancillary part manufacturers catering to this aspect, or trying to utilize this angle of impact on the auto industry to enhance the business as well? So,
So,
Yeah.
I'll
I
just
mean,
say, yeah,
so
sure, sure, please.
like as you rightly said, the second-hand people are frequently changing their car, and the old vehicle sale is increasing. Okay, you are 100% right, because if you see the shift, okay, the first question which you asked about the trends in the automobile industry. So one of the trend is SUV. Okay, SUV is growing. Okay, if you see the SUV complete the models, okay, for example, our company Scorpio XU700. Okay, if you see Maruti Brezza, Vitara. Okay, if you see Hyundai Venue, Extra, Creta. So these models, if you see the last 5 to 6 years, the models are growing. Okay, and people want a bigger vehicle because they are planning for a vacation. They're going with family. Okay, for outside, and they don't want a small car for office and big car for something trip. It is not US as of now. In US it is there. Okay, but India they want one vehicle which should solve the purpose of all the needs of the family. Okay, so because of that, though the SUV is increasing, and people have their own old vehicle, so they are selling. Okay, second, the first time user, okay, the cost of ownership will be less. Third, the organized companies have entered, like true value. Okay, like that, every company have started their own company. They are giving warranty also, and ownership is less. Okay, ownership cost of ownership is less. Okay, so and it's a experience for them. And if you see, if you go to the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 city, still there is a demand of second hand vehicles. I mean old cars. Okay, if you come to the urban, yeah, definitely the new cars demand is increasing and old car also increasing. But if you go down the tire level, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, so old car vehicle sale is increasing. Okay, they want to have experience, and they cost of ownership is less. Okay, and for the maintenance, companies are taking care. They are giving warranty. So these are the factors are impacting on second hand sales. Old vehicles, we can say.
The used car sales in 2024 is expected to around $27 billion in India, and I think it is going to grow at a 15% CAGR and will be touching double by 2028. It will be double, more than double. Okay.
Absolutely, sir.
All this, this is happening because of the rising middle class in India, which you rightly said, Mr. Bhimcha. It will be from the tier two. The major demand for the used car is from the tier one, tier two, which is happening over there. Then increased motorization. You said, we have the largest network of the roads.
Yeah.
So this is also impacting this, the used car sales, which is going to happen in tier two and tier three cities. And then access to the car financing or used car financing. Earlier it was not there. Banks were not financing. Now it is opening up. So, access to this car financing is also helping them. Then, auto majors have their own used car dealer, separate areas, separate dealership, separate physical points for dealing in the used car. And one important factor is the certification program,
Correct.
which is helping. It is giving you that kind of a trust when you are, more, आपको ज़्यादा वो चाहिए कि हाँ second hand car we should buy because it is being certified by the company.
I think more so it's about regularizing the market of second-hand car business.
Yes, definitely, because it is adding to the consumer trust as well.
Absolutely.
So that is also one of the biggest play over there.
Absolutely. I think that's a very, very valid and good point to speak about, that automotives have kind of adopted to this change, adapted to the entire change that has happened. And they are ensuring that, okay, you want a second-hand car? Here it is. We
Yes.
evaluate it for you, and
Right.
we validate it for you. This car is worth buying. Please go ahead.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
that kind of builds a trust on the automotive OEM as well. In turn, that customer gets obliged towards the fact that, okay, if he's given me a car which is a second-hand car, maybe my first car, when I have the affordability, even now today in India, while we are buying second-hand car, but I think somewhere intrinsically in the mind of the consumer, there is a desire to buy the brand new car.
Brand new car.
That
Yes.
desire gets encashed further when you buy a second-hand car from an OEM, and then you say, okay, he gave me a good car, good warranty, I should go back to them.
Right.
That kind of catches the customer early on. So I think that's a very good point. And we also spoke about a part where we said that government also wants to kind of control the number of cars people own today. A household has got 4 people; they have 4 to 5 cars. A small car for the city, a big car for the family, and another single car for each of them traveling. Now, also the traffics on the road, for example, Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi, we see a lot of traffic issues, and that catering to it, we also see an enhance and increase in the ride sharing or ride hailing services that you see across cities, especially in cities like Bangalore. Now, that again is creating a different line of demand in the market, where these ride sharing like Ola, Uber, and other local players. Now, in Bangalore, I get to see, I'm based out of Bangalore, so I see a lot of localized apps which people
Yes.
have created. Taxi owners have created their own app. They've bought 10 cars and created their own app, and people are using them. Now, that is again a market which has got created of ride sharing and ride hailing. How are we catering to that? Also, one big question that I have to Rakesh sir, to the part manufacturers, how are you catering to tap this demand? Because there is a demand of repair and maintenance that is needed. There's a demand
Sure.
of supply. There is a
Right.
demand of upgrade and upkeep that is needed. Now, part
Right.
manufacturers also need to cater to that market.
Definitely.
So how is it that we are looking at that market per se?
So, as far as, you talk about mobility, shared mobility, right?
Absolutely.
If you spoken to this 10 years back to someone, what is mobility? He would say owning a car is a mobility.
Absolutely.
But now the trend is changing. If you now ask any millennial or a new, generation Z, they'll say, we are moving from ownership to usership. So now, trends are changing. So nobody wants to have, they want to have more choices, less of hassle, lack of commitment is also one of that part. So shared mobility after the COVID has also increased.
Absolutely.
That has been the game changer over there.
Absolutely.
So it has increased over there. Everyone wants to travel in the car. And if it is a shared mobility, it is fine. It reduces the cost and you can travel much more distances over there. So things are changing, like you said, the mobility as a service, this app subscription models, which are playing in the local level also, Ola, Uber, Lyft, Grab. You go to any part of the world and you find all these apps over there. So as a tier one, there is a big demand because it is a consolidated demand. One, they are bigger players like Ola and Uber, where they have their own fleets of cars in a particular zone. So they have their own workshop also. So we have tie-ups with these workshops, these big giants like Ola and Uber, and smaller like Blue also, which runs over here as electric cars. So we have a tie-up with their centralized agency. So we treat them as one of our customers, big customer, institutional customers. So there is a rise of institutional customer for us. So these customers, they buy in bulk, they store also, and they do their own, they have their own workshop over there. So we have a very captive consumption over there. And as a tier one, I come to know how many of my components are being fitted over there, are being consumed over there, and which vehicle is having which part of the country or which state is consuming the kind of what volumes. So I come to know about it. So it's a very captive consumption which I come to know, and we treat them as one of our institutional buyers, a big institutional buyer. So for us, it is basically a consolidation rather than going through the regular channel of retailers and wholesalers. These are one of the channels which we have explored, and I think this is going to grow with a lot of local players also coming in. I think this is going to grow.
So, like in addition to Rakeshji, I take it as an opportunity for automobile industry. Okay,
Absolutely.
like how it is opportunity, because today, if you see a auto guy, okay, if somebody want to go to station, railway station from his home, auto guy used to charge around, say, negotiation, based on the negotiation, some 150, 200, like that. Now, in the same cost, he is going by a car. Okay, so one, we are giving as a automobile industry, we are giving a experience to the end user. Okay, he may be a future customer for us once his income increases. So that is one. Second, the kind of boom it is happening. See, example, if you see the Bangalore, okay, Bangalore population is 95 lakh and the total number of cars are 55 lakh. Okay, means every two-person has one car. Okay, but they are not saying that we will not keep car. They are having the ownership of car. Still they are going by Ola or Uber, because just to reach on time and just to have a relax in the car, don't drive self. So that kind of experience they are getting. So now cities are expanding. Okay, if you see the expansion of the city, Delhi, Gurgaon has become, and it is expanding NCR. Okay, if you go to Pune, again it is going to up to rural, 20, 30, 40 kilometers it is expanding. Bangalore 30, 20 kilometers it is, 3 ring road, 4 ring road, 5 ring road, it is expanding. Hyderabad, 3, 4, 5 ring roads are expanding. So every city, metro cities and tier 2 cities are expanding. So there is a space for ownership also. So first give the experience to the person who should use the vehicle by sharing like Ola, Uber and all. And after 5 year, 10 year down the line, definitely he is going to be our customer. I'm not saying 100%, at least 30, 40%. If we attract people, definitely it is good for us. And the customer will feel the status also. Like once he buy a car, okay, without car and buying a car, So he is motivated towards buying a old vehicle so that he will be owner. So definitely he is going to be having a status symbol also. So these kind of factors are impacting, and it is in a positive way for automobile industry.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. I think that kind of brings me to one last question, and this is going to be a quick touch base per se. When we talk about increase in the financial ability of our society today, there is also, you spoke about easy financing, which is available, and that brings me to a point which is possibly a evolving point. And I think I was kind of lucky to be a part of that journey with Mahindra when I was a part of Mahindra Automotive, where we spoke about car leasing with
Right.
Oryx, lease plan, and car lease. Now, many such players have come into being. Hence, the affordability substantially increases. I cannot buy a car today, but because car leasing is there, I can still think of having a car. Not owning it in totality today, but at the same time, it's my car. Now,
No.
how is it that industry is looking at car leasing from the point of view of an opportunity? Also, how are we encashing upon it in the right manner? What has been the evolution over the last 6, 7 years? I think that's the phase since when car leasing got a big boom in India per se.
Like yeah, as you rightly said, car leasing is definitely it is growing and it is a trend. First target segment is the employee, okay, employee of the company. Today what actually big companies are doing, they are giving like a kind of a CTC vehicle or car leasing vehicle for 5 years, okay, without, they are giving a subsidy on the interest rate, okay, and monthly they are cutting the EMI. So after 5 years he will be a owner of the, they will transfer. So that is the first segment companies are promoting. Second segment is like like for example, you see Tata Blue, okay, Tata Blue in Calcutta, okay, like 300 vehicles they have started, okay. So they have started their own, okay, today they are starting their own, they are giving experience to the drivers completely. Today they have own, but their plan is, okay, they are planning for a leasing of their vehicle to the drivers in coming months. So institution leasing. So in 10 city, they will give 5,000 vehicle, they will give on lease for 5 years. Only it will be lease based on the MOU, joint venture between the end user and the company. So these kind of
Absolutely.
trends are coming up, and which is going to impact in a positive growth of the industry.
Absolutely, sir. Rakesh, sir, over to you.
I fully agree with Mr. Bhim Shah. I think a lot of this car, the what do you call it? Ola, Uber, they are also coming into this lease model to the drivers also.
Absolutely.
So this is going to be a lot of different. One is the car leasing company, and another one, all this company, if they are leasing to the drivers, if they are making a model where they are going to lease the cars to the drivers. So this is definitely going to, because the need of the shared mobility is going to increase in India drastically. It has just not penetrated so well into the tier 3 cities, I would say. Metros and non-metros are flooded with it. But
Absolutely.
still, tier 2 and tier 3 are running on the tick-tick rickshaws only. So their
Absolutely.
aspiration are also going to be fulfilled. I think these aggregators are going to move to this tier 3 and tier, down the value proposition. Where, yeah, they can making a dent will be, getting in association with the drivers to lease these cars, where they'll find people, who going to drive and who going to, kind of own the car also and get the revenue out of it also for their living. So I think this is going to make a change. Definitely going to change.
In
Absolutely.
addition to this, like it's out of topic, but tractor is also part of automotive. So in tractor also PPP model started, okay, like how the Ola Uber is there, like a government, manufacturer, and the franchisee,
You're
okay.
talking a public-private partnership that we're
Yeah,
talking about.
PPP model.
Yeah.
So where the 33% will be funding by company, 33% by government, 33% by the owner who is going to
Okay.
run the show. So this model, and the tractor will be on rental basis. Okay, completely 1 crore budget for one unit, and he will run the for 5 years completely on the rental basis, and after 5 years the 100% material will belongs to him only he has to pay 33% whatever the investment has been done by government and company, that's all.
Okay.
And entire asset is going to be the owner who has invested only 33%. So these kind of models are emerging in India.
Great. So I think that gives a boost to the entire agricultural market as
Yeah,
well. So
yeah.
automotive has a big
So that
impact as
so
well.
that indirectly the income of the farmer or income of the people will go up, and definitely they will come for buying cars. No?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. I think that brings us to the end of set of questions that I had. I think we'll probably now take on certain questions that have come from the audience per se. I think Shivani, are you there?
Hi. We did have a couple of questions that came in earlier from the registration page. I will get straight to it, keeping the time in mind. So, one of the questions says, how do you crack leads given the high competition and ever decreasing price, especially when you don't want to lower the quality of your products?
See, I mean, today if you see, last 3 years we are not given discount to any customer. Frankly speaking, I mean, maybe dealer must have given, but as a company we never entered, never entertained, because we want to give the quality of the product, the features, and the advantages and the benefits to the end users. We are very much clear. Not only me, I'm talking about as a auto industry also. This practice, post COVID, everybody is practicing. So auto industry is not actually adopting the discount structure, and clearly focusing on value for money product, and with high end features, with cost for that. So that is what actually we are promoting.
And secondly, after COVID, the auto industry has seen a massive growth, and all the auto majors are running out of capacity at present. And due to this chip shortage, the inventory level at the dealers and everywhere has gone drastically down. So I don't think, and moreover, the change which it is transformation, with more premiumization of the vehicle which is happening with more features. The discount doesn't play a part right now. It is more of safety, more of features right now. Customer is looking at a different perspective altogether. And
And
getting the car on time is also most important. Right now, you have to wait for 6 months at least, 4 to 6 months to get a car. So I don't think so. Discount plays at this moment.
as
Right?
Rakesh ji rightly said, yeah, Rakesh ji rightly said, like today we are getting calls not for discount or anything. We are getting calls for early delivery.
Yes.
Like, yeah, 1 year, 2 year booking is there. So that is what actually the automobile industry today it is happening, and I feel it's one of the best practice. It will continue for future also, because definitely the industry growth is there. The income level of the end users are increasing,
Right.
and definitely the customer wants safety features, customer want a good quality vehicle, and they want to treat them very good after sales service also. Earlier, if after selling a vehicle, relation khatam, there is no relation. Okay, today after selling a vehicle, the relation starting. The relation is for second generation, third generation. That kind of relation is happening, and it is going to come. So that actually we want to maintain. So definitely, discount will not play any edge.
I think another part of discounting to cater to the demand of the customer, where affordability is a challenge and because of which the customer asks for a discount. I think the kind of variety in terms of variants of cars that they have brought in
Yes.
every possible category is also catering to that discount. Instead of having two or three variants, today you see six, seven variants. So if you can't
In
afford the
every
top,
model.
you can go one down or two down and still be able
Yes.
to buy a XUV 700 and have that feel of drive that you need today. May not be the same amount of gadgets and gizmos, but yeah, the vehicle still remains.
As Dinsho rightly said, earlier what used to happen, no, डिस्काउंट मीन स्टेटस. ऐसा बोलते थे कि यार मैंने 20,000 डिस्काउंट लेके आया, उनको लगता था कि मैंने बहुत अच्छा नेगोशिएट, आई एम ए वेरी गुड नेगोशिएटर. दैट काइंड ऑफ स्टेटस सिंबल वाज देयर अर्लियर. So I think that is gone. Okay, as you rightly said, affordability, based on the affordability, there are different variants we have designed. So if you want at a lower price, take this one. If you want all features fully loaded, you take this one.
And I think some of the next question, some of it was already answered. How can dealerships and repair shops provide exceptional customer service? So obviously, one part that you already mentioned, Mr. Bhimshaw, was after sales service. Is there anything else you'd like to add in terms of exceptional
Yeah.
customer service?
Like see, today we have 24 by 7 services. Okay, automobile, most of the companies, top companies in automobile, practicing 24 by 7 services. Okay, as I rightly said, the relation is starting after selling the car. Okay, so each and every, the guidance, the assistance, everything, our dealers, today the dealers investment is not 10 crores or anything, more than 40-50 crores investment is there. Okay, not only in terms of inventory, I'm talking about in terms of the skill building of the mechanics, in terms of skill building of supervisors. Okay, in terms of the vehicle capacity, service vans. Okay, 24 by 7 road assistance vans, completely backup. Then only we start a dealership or branch, even at the branch also. So we have started many branches across the districts and at the tahsil level also. So that is also giving a confidence to the end users. Where if something happened wrong, so immediately the company or the dealer, the people are coming and repairing it. So that kind of service we are giving. But it's a 24 by 7, no issues, and most of the top companies are practicing this actually.
And with the ADAS cars coming in, you come to know when is the preventive service is going to be due. So it is there are a lot of alerts which are coming up,
Yes, yes.
and it is not only alerts from the car; it is from the car companies also, auto majors also. Then the kind of service, the level of service has moved a little ahead. If you go to the service area now, you can just wait. It's like a launch in some of the dealership.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that kind of experience, which was earlier not there. But I think with the the value of the cars going up, with the new service criteria coming up, I think will be the a benchmark in all the auto majors in the coming years. Service is going
And
to play a major role.
auto majors, in addition to Rakeshji, auto majors, everybody started home pickup service. Okay,
Yes,
somebody
yes,
want to pick their vehicle, so we'll send a
exactly.
driver, pick the vehicle, do service and drop also. So
Right.
that facility we have started. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Keeping in mind that it's 5 o'clock, I'm going to ask one last question that came from an audience member. However, this is more of a fun question. Are hybrid vehicles better than electric cars? I think it's from a car enthusiast. I'll probably just take a vote. Mr. Beamshaw, which do you
Yeah.
prefer, electric or hybrid?
Definitely. So the question is really perfect, because today, current situation, I should say hybrid cars. See, I'm not the starward of the industry to say ki it's a better, but today current situation, the hybrid cars are definitely better. And in next 4 to 5 years, as Rakesh ji rightly said, and my feeling also, electric vehicle is going to take over slowly, slowly. And today, currently, hybrid is better, because whenever the electric power needed, it will go. Whenever the car need more power, it will start with petrol. So it's better. Today, hybrid cars are better, I can say.
But going forward with a lot of infrastructure and with the push of the government and the auto majors, which I feel is going to happen,
Yeah.
we can look forward to what government is suggesting around 30-35% of penetration by 2035. But provided all the support and infrastructure building is given up, and lot of incentives in terms of import duty slash on the the parts components, some incentive scheme to the tier one is going to boost up the EV sales. But it will require a lot of joint effort by the auto majors and the government also.
And for I mean, especially for the urban customers. Okay, my submission is they should go for electric vehicle, because definitely the electric vehicle is going to dominate the Indian automobile industry. Okay, the kind of investments, all companies, more than 50% of the profits, they are investing on R&D of electric vehicles.
Yeah.
So it is, future is electric vehicle, that I can say. Okay, so if somebody is serious about going for I strongly say them and suggest them they should go for electric vehicle.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Rakesh. Electric vehicle for you as well.
Presently hybrid. Going forward, yes, I'm bullish about it.
Okay. Dinsha, for you.
I
For
think
me,
primarily from the present. Sorry.
currently I'm driving XU700 because company it's a company vehicle. Okay, so definitely next 1 or 2 year I'm going to shift 100% electric vehicle.
I think given the scenario of the market and the infrastructure in the market, and because I am a long drive enthusiast, I would probably go for a hybrid at this stage because
Yeah,
of the long range capability of the hybrid vehicle versus an electric today.
right.
Otherwise, if the infrastructure is improved to the level that is expected, then yes, hands down, it will be electric going forward.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We had an extremely insightful discussion. Please look out for snippets of of this conversation on social media very soon. Again, thank you so much, Rakesh, Bhimsha, and Dinshaw, for taking us through the webinar today. Everyone, take care. Bye bye.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot,
Thank you.
Shivani. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot,
yeah.
Mr.
Bye
Rakesh.
bye.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you,
Mr.
Shivani.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Insho.
you,
Thank you,
Shivani. Thank
Rakesh.
you, Dinsha.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dinsha.